Welcome. One more again. Welcome. Welcome to the Houston Roundball Review TAKEOVER on the lunch break, powered by JM&E and also the BS3 Network. Watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Musk, Fire TV, and Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If not, just go to bs3network.com. It's a gloomy Thursday here in H-Town. Rain on the way, rain here. Hopefully it doesn't hail or anything like that over here in the greater Fifth Ward. As my auntie used to say, may she rest in peace. The nickel, the bloody fifth, all those good things. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. How are you all doing out there? Let's get into it. We're going to talk some Coogs, some head coaching, Big 12, AAC, SWAC, all those good things here in this 55 minutes of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. Thriller, what's up, my man? Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for joining. I'm going to flip it up a little bit. Thriller was a TSU alum, the TSU for us, Texas Southern University, Texas Southern, not Tennessee State, the TSU. TSU football is looking for a new head coach. Colleague Jerome Solomon tossed out a name that should be known to Houston Texans fans, Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson as the head coach for the TSU football Tigers. Some of my colleagues kind of poo-pooed that suggestion. I don't know, would Andre really is he ready to be a head coach? Does he want to be a head coach? Is he ready to commit to coaching at TSU? Is he ready to commit to the long-term job at Texas Southern? Not just be a flash in the pan, one stop? Would it make sense? Does it make sense if AD VP Dr. Kevin Granger decided to go in that direction and name Andre Johnson as a head coach over at TSU? Some folks say no. Jerome Solomon says yes. There are other names being mentioned, some that I won't name publicly, but I do know via my great colleague and the insider of HBCU Sports, Jonathan Yadikville. And then this is a great question right here. I hadn't even thought about this part of it. Has he graduated from college? If not, it can't happen. That's an excellent point there, Thurlow. See, I got a smart audience, smart people, smart supporters of the Houston Roundball Review. Intelligent. Add to the conversation. Didn't think about that part of Andre Johnson. I'm not sure if he has graduated, received that degree. I don't think he's a high up candidate for the job anyway, but it's just a name that's been tossed out there by my colleague, Jerome Solomon. I think another colleague, Devin Wade, tossed out Chris Dishman as a possible candidate for the job over at TSU. So the job is in demand. There are alums who are being considered for the job. There are younger candidates who are being considered for the job. Some are even coaching on the Power 5 level who are being considered for the job. So it's a wide range of candidates being considered for the Texas Southern football job, just as there is, not only wide, but legit folks who are being considered for the Houston Cougars head football coaching job. Willie Fritz, Tulane. Thank you for that thumbs up. I'm not sure who that is. Thank you very much for that thumbs up on Facebook. Thank you, because the Houston Roundball Review TAKEOVER is on Facebook. My personal page, AJ's personal page, the Houston Roundball Review Facebook page, as well as on YouTube, AJ's YouTube page, YouTube channel, the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, and of course on Roku via the BS3 Network. But in addition to Coach Fritz, Jeff Traylor at UTSA, Coach Odom, UNLV, Gary Patterson, formerly of TCU and the offensive consultant this past year over at the Burnt Orange Place, the Texas Longhorns, who are the #1 seed in this weekend's Big 12 football championship, squaring off against number 2 seed Oklahoma State. And yes, new energy, both Scott Street, East and West, indeed. And hopefully it's important for both universities, both programs, to get it right, make the right hire to take UH and TSU further places going forward into the future. But as a touch on Big 12 football championship, let me jump to that slide real quick here. Pull it up right here. Here we go. December 2nd, Oklahoma State, 9-3 overall, 7-2 in Big 12 versus the Longhorns, 11-1, 8-1 in conference. 11 a.m. on Saturday, ABC kickoff, Jerry World, Arlington Stadium. Tickets as low as $94. Thrillo. Miss Wanda, if you're watching, chiming in. Tony M, wherever you're watching, whatever platform you're watching, I'm going to mention this. And let me know your thoughts on it. Some could say it's petty. Let me put it back up. The Longhorns are the number 1 seed in Saturday's football championship game. They finished with the best record in Big 12 football this season at 8-1. Oklahoma State, Coach Gundy, 7-2, number 2 seed, tiebreakers, all those things. But the Big 12 coaches voted for Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State head coach, to be coach of the year instead of Steve Sarkisian, the Texas Longhorns football coach, to be coach of the year. Do you agree with that? Do you think it's petty? Do you think it's a final shot to the Longhorns for leaving Big 12, going to the SEC? Do you think it's justified? If you think it's justified, what's your logic for that? Some media people, some fans think it's petty. I think it's petty. Steve Sarkisian, they're 8-1. Best record in the Big 12 this season. Don't hate. Because I feel pretty certain if the opportunity presented itself for most, if not all, the other current Big 12 football coaches to get more money and go to the SEC, they leave at heartbeat too. So don't hate. And then what are you going to do? I know Commissioner Yormark, Big 12 commish, crossing those fingers and toes. Please, Coach Gundy, please, Coach Gundy, please find a way to beat the Longhorns this Saturday. I do not want to have to present the trophy to them for the last season in the Big 12 as champions of the Big 12 football championship game. Putting it out there, Thurlow has this comment. He said it is petty, but he's not sure if Oak State exceeded expectations. Well, they got waxed by UCF 45-3. They lost to South Alabama at home earlier this season. So it took them a few games to realize, hey, let's give the ball to Ollie Gordon and let him carry the rock. And Ollie Gordon was named Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, and he's the leading rusher in the country in Division I football. So it took them a while to figure that out, realize that, we have this young man who can really run the ball and get yards and be productive and score and help us and all those kind of things. Yeah, I think we should give him the ball. Well, whatever. But I know, Coug fans, if you are watching this edition of the Houston Roundball Review TakeOver, I am going to discuss my alma mater, the Houston Cougars, and football, and the head coaching job. Willie Fritz, Jeff Traylor, Gary Patterson, others. Thrillo. Audience, did you see the clip? Read the article. Nebraska head football coach Matt Ruhle said a top college quarterback, Division I, in the portal is going for $1.5, $2 million in the portal, Division I. $1 to $2 million for a top quarterback on Division I to come to transfer to your program. $1 to $1.5 to $2 million. That's Nebraska. Head football coach talking about that. Nebraska used to be it. In my younger days, used to be one of the it football programs in Division I. And now they're having, and they're in the Big Ten. And they're having to take a pause about how much we're going to spend money on for this. What? E-month, what? That's a lot of money. Rex 32 with the question, how much are they going for out of high school? Depends on the quarterback. Depends on the program. But part of my discussion, and yeah, Thrillo, see, you were born, and I think you were a lineman, right? So you didn't play quarterback. So viewers, if you are a parent of a young man who can play quarterback and has the skills to be a Division I quarterback, if you can time it right, because probably for the next few years, NIL rules will be tightened up. The budget will change, and the payouts probably diminish. So days of getting $1, $2 million for a quarterback will go away. But if you're in that right now, oh man, man, good luck. Make it happen. Reports, Rob Sellers, 24/7 Sports covers the Cougs. Judge Duarte, the Chronicle, be writer for the Cougs, for the Chronicle. Both reported that sources told them that one of the Cougs' defensive linemen reportedly was receiving offers of $500,000 to transfer to a school in the Big Ten. Defensive lineman. It was, let me see, Jamarre Carroll. But yes, think about that. $500,000. Jamarre Carroll has been offered $500,000 to transfer to a school in the Big Ten. It's the NIL. As AAC Commissioner Mike Oresco says all the time to anyone who's asking, on the record, off the record, NIL stands for now it's legal. So this is what programs are doing. But one of my questions, what do you think about that? I'm good with the young men getting that money if it's offered. But at what point is too much? At what point should your happiness, at what point should winning also be considered in the equation? I don't know that Big Ten school, but there's not a lot of winning programs in the Big Ten, especially on the national level. I don't care what they claim, Brother Gibson. Outside of Ohio State, Michigan, year in, year out, the rest of those Big Ten programs get paid a lot of money to be average. I mean, receive a lot of money from TV deals, media rights deals, to be average, to not be in the conversation for national championships. So a lot of those programs in the Big Ten, they get TV ratings, all those things. I understand all that. Not mad at them for that. But very few of them are competing for national championships. So they're spending all this money. Hell, look at the Aggies. Look at the Longhorns. All this money they've been spending. Aggies have won one championship in 80 years. Haven't competed for a conference championship in years. Haven't won a conference championship in years. Longhorns been back for so long. It's a joke. So spend all that money. New head coach at Oregon State. Oh, man, how are you doing? Thank you for your comment. Coach Trent, Oregon State. He's getting paid $2 million to be the head coach at Oregon State. And he's happy with that. $2 million. He's happy with that as a head coach of a former Pac-12 school. Pac-2 in due time will be part of the Mountain West, even if it's under the Pac-12 umbrella in 2 seasons. But this is all part of it. It's also building unrealistic expectations for the programs. Agreed. All mad with a good point. Going back, come on. If you are close to college athletics 40, 50, 60 years, however long you've been on this earth, players have been receiving money under the table for years. I don't know how much it was. It was known. I mean, it was almost expected. So it's now it's legal, going back to what Mike Resco said. But I want to play this clip, and it's just part of his conversation with us from his Wednesday press conference. He spoke to us roughly half an hour, talking about head coach Kelvin Sampson. Great question right here. What's going to happen once the players start making more than the coaches? And he means got to be the head coaches, because there are some players make more than staffers right now. That's going to be a problem. But Kelvin Sampson, roughly a 30-minute presser with us. His last answer took up about 10 minutes to the last question of the presser. The question was what are his thoughts on how important it is for for Division I athletics to have success in men's basketball as well as football. That was basically the question. His answer, and I have part of it on my YouTube channel at Houston Roundball Review, went from how far UH has come in the 10 years since he's been on as head coach at Houston, in terms of the campus facilities, in terms of landscaping, facilities, all these things. It's a long answer. But this clip, listen to this clip, because it deals with NIL.
Know what they have now, but we're getting there. And that's what we should focus on. We're getting there. We're getting better. You know, from Tillman to President Couture, Kris, all the people that are in leadership positions, they have one job, is to make us better. And we're doing that. And I'm happy for the alumni that when they come back on campus, I love hearing from the alumni that had been here for 10 years. They say, I can't believe how nice this place looks. And I said, you're right. It is. We got a nice place. We got nice stuff. We're getting some good toys here. But our toys are we just got to keep it coming. We need to understand the importance of this NIL thing. I used to think that, you know, if you worked hard in recruiting and you did this, and, you know, I've always been a good recruiter. Kellen's always been a good recruiter. But in today's age, that's not good enough anymore. You got to understand the importance of the NIL thing. You know, I mean, it's just the way it is. And everybody has to understand it. So when you're interviewing a coach for a job, a big part of that conversation has to be NIL. Just like I'm an old guy. I've been here. We don't think it's not important to me. You know, I'm not interviewing for a job, but it's just as important for me as it is to our women's basketball coach and our volleyball coach. Because as soon as the season's over, there's going to be schools trying to poach David's best players. And if he doesn't have the NIL resources, he's going to lose them. Then people's going to want to know, why aren't we winning?
What are your thoughts on that, audience? What are your thoughts on what head coach Kelvin Sampson said about the importance, acknowledging the importance of NIL. But when does it end? How much money is too much money? At some point, the well will run dry in terms of the money from the boosters. And it's a new age. It's a good point. But I go back to Thrillo's comment right here. It does build unrealistic expectations for programs. If Houston, the University of Houston, is not Texas, it's not the Ohio State, does not have huge revenue from football ticket sales, concessions, merchandise, all of that is not making money, is not one of the handful of Division I athletic programs turn a profit. So where is this money going to come from? If Houston got to a point of where, especially in the football, they're paying players so much money, but not winning championships, not conference championships, not competing in the CFP playoff, then the boosters will turn around and say, why am I spending this money? Why am I investing all this money if we're not winning championships? Coach X, I just plopped down, me and my group, my collective, whatever you want to call it. I plopped down $5 million the last 3 years, and we haven't won a championship. And now you ask me for more money? Not happening. At some point, that will happen at the bigger programs, not just Houston, Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech. That's going to happen. Not everybody has Phil Knight. Not everybody has a Matt Ishbia, a Tillman Fertitta. Tillman may be a billionaire, but Tillman's not going to spend all this money without championships. Tillman had to be convinced to fire Dana Holgorsen. Thurlow with comment, and Thurlow played football, college football, okay? NIL has one major flaw. Money for young people can be more of a distraction than incentive for better production. In Rex 32, think about this. I thought about this before the show. I'm not sure it will happen because of the finances, the alums. There are wealthy UH alums, wealthy UH boosters, etc. They're not as flamboyant and as outgoing as Tillman. But if Houston spends so much money in NIL and brings in players, I'm talking about all the sports, but specifically football and men's basketball specifically. Men's basketball, Justin Gorham, the board man for the Cougs, the mentality, the mindset that they had was we'd rather be blue collar than blue blood. If you start paying all these kids, so many kids, $500,000, $750,000, million, whatever, 8, 10 players, $5 million a year total. What is the mentality of those kids? Do they just want to get paid? Or do they want to win championships? Because at some point, I don't want kids in my program. If I'm a coach, if I'm a fan, if I'm a booster, I'm an alum, I do not want kids who are coming just for a check and not to compete and win championships. That is an issue, and that's a problem for a lot of these big-time programs. Getting all these 5-star kids And some of these 5-star kids, many of them aren't worthy of it. In the near future, things like this will be part of the collective bargaining. Rex 32 says maybe at NIL as incentive-based, make them earn it. There's going to be a point soon. It's in the next 2 to 5 years, 2-3 years, that the NCAA will realize, and the autonomy schools, the autonomy conferences, will accept the fact, negotiate with the players. We're going to recognize you as not necessarily employees, but some sort of bargaining agreement where we're going to agree on certain parameters. We're going to pay this, we're going to cover these expenses, all these different things. But in return, we expect this from you. Really, for some of those kids, it's more important to stand on the gram than hold up a championship trophy. Yes. And that's kids I do not want in my program. There is a balance. I'm not saying it can't be done, that you can't build your brand and also bust your butt and compete for and win championships. I'm not sure who on here, Trent's talking about, what anybody, as far as nobody on this show was hyping this up for Kendrick. But there is a balance. You know, Mercy Miller and Chase McCarty. Mercy is one of Master P's sons. Mercy committed to Houston. Chase McCarty committed to Houston. Both 4-star kids. With a point, he wants kids to get the money, but he thinks it should be capped while in school and then given the rest after eligibility is up. So it's all about competing and winning championships. But let me take a quick break. Then we're going to talk about Coach Fritz in more details, other candidates for the job, and my thoughts on which way I think Houston is leaning for their next head football coach. You're watching the Houston Roundball Review TAKEOVER, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Fire TV, Twitch, Musk, and of course on Roku via the BS3 network. Be back in 90 seconds with more of the Houston Roundball Review TAKEOVER.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review TAKEOVER, powered by JM&E. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. If you have your Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV and watch the show there. If not, just go to bs3network.com. Sunday on Folks Talking Sports, was that November the 25th, 26th? Me and colleague Willie Gibson from Will Know Sports, WTG Sports, discussed, let's listen to it. Right hire, it is very, very important to get the right hire. If it is Coach Fritz. Coach Fritz's agent, Coach Fritz. Let me tell my team, my players, do not leak anything. Do not announce anything. This is how I prefer it to be handled. You know, Coach Fritz is a grown man. I don't believe he's old enough. He's experienced enough. I don't believe he would opt to ruin his team's chances at winning the AAC championship by someone leaking that he's leaving for Houston. He may tell his players, and this is me talking. This is not Coach Fritz. I'm not saying he's coming to Houston, none of that stuff, because one of my buddies who covers him said he's not sure he'd leave right now. Key word there is right now. But let him tell the players, guys, we are going to compete, win this championship game, go to the New York Six Bowl. Because Dion, he announced he's going to Colorado, but he stayed through Celebration Bowl.
He did.
At Texas State. He chose to do all that. So it is done. It can be done to do it the right way. Men, we're going to win this. We're going to win this game. We're going to compete for the NY6 Bowl. Win that game. But for me and my family, my wife has family in Houston, whatever. Whatever you want to say. For us, me personally, the opportunity to be in a Power 4 conference, more resources, on and on. We decided to go to Houston.
Yep.
I think it's Willie Fritz. I think it's Coach Fritz. And I've seen the comments here, and I think, where is I saw from, with Rex 32's logic right here. Houston has taken a long time to announce because of what I just mentioned in that clip. Because of the Tulane participating, competing against SMU this weekend in the AAC championship game. Traylor, Coach Traylor, UTSA is in the American as well. Their folks have made public their desire to increase the budget for the staff, for the football program, $2 million. That's public. Coach Traylor has interviewed for A&M and UH more than once. And it made their move. Wasn't Jeff Traylor. You heard it from Joseph Duarte. And Joseph been wrong before, just like I have. So, I can call Joseph right now. What's your point there? The rationale is, and some can disagree. Tran disagrees. Why has Houston taken so long to make the hire, to announce the hire? They could have announced Jeff Traylor yesterday. Yeah, okay. Jeff Traylor had interviews, a 90-minute interview with the Aggies. Aggies didn't hire him. And there are different folks who cover football who believe it's going to be Fritz. Some folks thought it was going to be Gary Patterson. Think it's going to be Gary Patterson. Remember that? Was it Monday or Tuesday that the betting odds had Cliff Kingsbury the favorite? No way in hell. No way in hell. Please. But that was the betting odds. And then some other supposed football site posted that Cliff was the favorite based on the betting odds post. And folks put that out there. Cliff is the favorite. He's going to get the job. Didn't even bother doing any more research. Come on. Come on now, folks. And that's media, social media. If you're credentialed, do better. And fans, sometimes you should follow credential media outlets instead of folks who aren't credential media outlets. It's better for your sanity. Okay? Trust me on that one. It's better for your sanity. Instead of retweeting, reposting, whatever you want to read, whatever. Some site that is a fan site, basically, and has never been to a game, to cover a game, has never been in the media room whatsoever. So keep that in mind as well. And Rex 32 could be correct. Traylor is probably, he says probably, I say possibly, he's playing the parlay game with UTSA. He could be doing that. Could be. And that $7 million buyout, that's a lot. Coach Odom's is $5 million. Traylor's goes down $1 million to $6 million January 1st. Coach Odom's goes down, I think, to $4 million on January 1st. We don't know the buyout for Coach Fritz. Tulane is a private institution. Not sure what that is. Not sure what it is, his bio it is. But Coach Fritz does have connection to this area. Coached at Sam Houston State up in Huntsville, 2 hours from here, from H-Town. Daughter worked here at a local sports station in town. So this is the key. The importance of the right, getting the hire correct. Got to build the program and be a good recruiter. There's too much talent in the city of Houston, in and around the city of Houston, the greater Houston area, to be ranked 102 in recruiting. Dana Holgerson. He's gone. Thank goodness. No way in the world. Houston now is a member of the Big 12. Now is a member of the Power 4. Should be ranked 102. Should be ranked dead last in recruiting in terms of power conferences. No way in hell. But that's what is happening at Houston. The transfer portal officially, unless you are at a school where a coaching change has already happened, opens up on Monday, December 4th. The December signing period begins on the 20th. So the new head coach has got to make some quick decisions. Hit the ground running. Willie Fritz. I don't think Coach Stein's going to come here. Too young. Got a chance to go to be in the Big Ten with Oregon. Probably wants a higher payday. And I think another factor in Coach Fritz's favor is he won't break the bank in terms of salary. I'm assuming his buyout is not $7 million like Jeff Traylor's. That may play a factor in this as well. And let's say Coach Fritz accepts $3.5, $4 million. Not 5, 6, 7, anything like that. With the bigger boys, now, what is it, $9, $10 million per year for football coaches who aren't proven, who haven't won squat. Maybe he and his agent say, give me $4 million a year, give me $5 million for my coaching staff pool. Let's get to work. But don't announce anything until after Saturday in our game against SMU. Don't do anything before that. And speaking of which, SMU and Tulane both undefeated in conference play. 8-0. Mustangs 10-2. Tulane 11-1. 3 o'clock on ABC. Tickets as low as $20. Game at Tulane. Commissioner Resco. He's had to do it before. But he would prefer that Tulane wins the AAC championship game rather than SMU because the Mustangs are going to the ACC next year. Good afternoon, Ben at BS3. How are you doing? Thank you, as always, for this platform to share with my insight and opinions with the audience, as well as their insight and opinions. Yep, it's another game featuring team leaving the conference. So Brett Yarmark and Mike Oresco. And who? Well, let's see. Well, the Washington Oregon game is just both of them are leaving. Man, but that's the way life is in Division I athletics. Division I football. So, yep. The Pac-2, the AAC, and the Big 12 features teams that are leaving their current conference for a new conference. Yes. Thrillo, I know you're a TSU person, but who are you picking? That record is wrong. That record there for FAMU is wrong. So let me take that down. FAMU is undefeated in SWAC play. Typo there. But who you got, Thrillo? Prairie View, Florida A&M. FAMU was undefeated in SWAC at 8-0. They beat Prairie View earlier this season. Coach Bubba McDowell, Prairie View head coach, says the Panthers are healthier now than they were in the matchup earlier this season. Will that matter? I think the game will be more competitive. Hopefully. I hate blowout bowl games. Blowout championship. I hate that. Rex 32 says, PV, you know? Well, Rex, are you picking PV to win? I like PV to win. I like it if they won. Thurlow says FAMU should win. And also, PV finds a way to stick around in games. So Rex 32, what say you? Are you picking PV to win? So he said, no, but that's not FAMU's alma mater. Fair. I think FAMU's going to win the game. Basketball schedules for H-Town teams as these final minutes of the Houston Roundball Review TakeOver. Tran. UH women's basketball had their first loss of the season last night. 70-45 to Middle Tennessee. Coach Ron Huey, post-game, and I have the clips on Instagram and TikTok on Houston Roundball Review and on Threads. But part of his comments, his team's performance, he said, that's embarrassing. Middle Tennessee used 6 players the entire game. 6. 4 of the 5 starters played the entire game. All 40 minutes. And they controlled tempo, controlled the pace almost the entire ball game. And won by 25 inside Fertitta Center. Final score 70-45. UH men, 6th ranked, 5th ranked Cougs. Friday evening in Cincinnati at Xavier. FS1, part of the Big East Big 12 battle. I posted comments from Coach Sampson about Xavier. Desmond Claude is an NBA talent. Former right Sal, Quincy Oliveri, is a transfer to Xavier. Quincy is a three-point shooter, three-point marksman. But they're without 2 of their best players who were out for the season, including their big man. It's a game the Cougs should win. But Xavier's coming off a loss at home, so they'll want to bounce back from that in front of their home crowd. So the crowd's going to be hyped up. So that first 5, 6, 7 minutes of the game will be important. If the Cougs can take the fans out of the game, another dub, Cougs move to 8-0. HCU, well, I'll be at Rice this Saturday to watch HCU and Rice. Men's basketball, Huskies are winless, 0-5 and struggling. Women's team, 3-4. Their 3 wins are over NAIA programs, basically, not Division I programs. But they play at Texas Tech in Lubbock tomorrow. PV, 4-3, coming off a loss in New Orleans to Tulane, 98-77. They're off for finals. The next game won't be until the 10th at Iowa State. Women, same thing. Their next game won't be until the 10th at TCU. Both Big 12 opponents. PV women, 3-3 overall, coming off a loss to Incarnate Word at home, 57-44. And the Rice Owls men's team got a game tonight, home game. UT Martin got to win. Rice has to find a way to win this game. 1-6. Coach Para, they will definitely beat HCU, but I mean, they better beat HCU on Saturday, but they need to win tonight at home against UT Martin to get off the snide. Their one win this season was over St. Thomas, I believe. Rice women blasted Texas Southern last night by 30, 74-44 to improve to 4-3. Dealing with a few injuries, but still finding ways to get dubs. This game is Saturday afternoon on the road against A&M Corpus Christi. That game can be seen on ESPN+. Thrillo, your alma mater, men's hoops, playing these check games. This year, they haven't broken through yet. They're now 0-7. Tigers now 0-7. Played number 1 Purdue on the road, lost by 32. In that game, Purdue guard Braden Smith had a chance at a triple-double in the final minutes of the game. Coach Matt Painter had subbed out Braden Smith. Coach Painter decided not to put Braden back in the game simply to get the triple-double. The game was already in hand. Purdue was up big. Thrillo, Tran, Rec 32, DPG. Folks watching. Purdue, there's only been one player, I'm going to say men's basketball player, one men's basketball player, Purdue college history, to get a triple-double. Name that player. I have no prize if you get it right in these final moments of the show, but type in who you think it is. Men's hoops for Purdue get a triple-double. Name the player. But basically, Coach Painter said he did not want to put Braden Smith back in the game because the game was already in, was not in doubt, simply to get a triple-double, even though it had been the second one in program history. Nope. Got to go back. Got to go back some ways in this one. Got to go back. Well, if you're going to do it like that, at least you're honest. But yes, Jamarre Carroll, Purdue. Or as he became known later in his NBA career, Joe barely cares. But a former number 1 pick in the NBA draft, I believe. But yes, the only triple-double in Purdue hoops. D-Skills coming from the top rope with the joke. Incorrect, but yes. But Coach Painter said he has too much respect for Texas Southern's program and head coach Johnny Jones to put Braden Smith back in the game just to try to get a rebound or an assist, whatever he needed for that. If Braden gets it, let it be in the flow of the game, competitive, all those different things. But back to TSU. Men's hoops, the next game will be off for finals until December 16th and 17th, part of the CP3 HBCU Challenge in Las Vegas. Lady Tigers next game on the 12th, December 12th, at Houston. Goodness gracious, it's at noon. I hate that. I probably have to miss it for work. But there you go. With the hoops wrap up. A lot of losing for the H-Town College teams. Rice men's hoops, kind of a surprise to be 1-5. HCU men's hoops, not really based on who they play. TSU men's hoops, same thing, based on who they play. But what do you? Yeah, Thrillo says get the triple double. I think Braden will get it. He's one of the. I think Braden's a sophomore, so he's got time to get it. He's one of the best young point guards in college basketball, and he'll definitely get the assist part, tossing the ball to the oak that is Zach Edey down there on the low block, and then just knock down some threes based off the double team to Zach, and kicking it back out to him. So the hard part will be getting rebounds. But I think he'll have a chances to get that. But these skills, who do you say? Who do you want as the head coach of the Cougars football team? We can talk the Cougar baseball team later on. Volleyball tournament. The NCAA tournament starts today, tomorrow. UH volleyball is the 8th seed in the tournament. They're out west. Same pod as Stanford, number 1. So wish them well. It's a tough matchup. When your first round match, and then you have to face Stanford on their home court. So that'd be a tough one, a tall task. D-Skills wants Willie Fritz. I think he's the favorite. I don't have a problem with Willie Fritz or Jeff Traylor. I think those two are the most qualified for the job. I think both would have success at Houston, would do a good job building coaching staffs, do a good job recruiting the area, and winning in the Big 12. But also part of all that, the total package, establishing a winning culture and laying a foundation for success long-term rather than just being a flash in the pan. I was surprised, DPG, they got an 8 seed. I thought it'd be a little bit better than that, but I don't keep up with volleyball enough to know, other teams around them, if anybody got seeded better that shouldn't have. I mean, one of the perks of being in a Big 4 conference, you're supposed to get better seeding because of who you're playing in conference. Who knows? Rex, I like Coach Fritz. Had me pick one of the two. I prefer Coach Fritz. Folks can say this. That's one thing in Coach Fritz's favor at Tulane. He's won at Tulane. Has a great chance. SMU's playing a backup quarterback this Saturday. Starter got injured, broken fibula. So he's out for the season. So Tulane could be participating in back-to-back New Year's 6 bowl games. Tulane. And this is after Tulane went 2-10 not too long ago. 2-10. So something happened that season, go 2-10, and they've gone 23-3 since. So that's a question Houston needs to ask Coach Fritz if they're interviewing, which I think they will. Coach Fritz, what happened this season? Was it injuries? What was it? Was it COVID? What was it? Because the squad to go 2-10 and helped you turn it around since then. We'll see. Reminder, Houston Cougars basketball, men's basketball, Friday, 5:30 FS1 at Xavier. Cougs should win. Got to play well. It's a road game. The first true road game. You know, the Charleston Classic, Dayton had a lot of fans, but it's still not quite the same as a true road game. So the Cougs game at Xavier will be the Cougs' first road game. You know, see how new Cougs play in the first true road environment, like JoJo Tugler. How the younger guys play. The newer Cougars. Look for the game, watch the game, but after the game, come back to the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel for the next edition of Let's Rage Coogs, the original unofficial post-game show for Houston football and men's basketball. So the game starts about 5:30. It's a road game, so Let's Rage Coogs start around 8 o'clock Central Time. So join me, Andy Yanez, and Dan Dunlap Friday night, for the next edition of Let's Rage Coogs. If the Cougs administration has opted to hire Willie Fritz, I think it'll be announced after the game. Should be announced after the game between Tulane and SMU on Saturday. The portal hits on Monday, December 4th. NIL is important. It's important to invest, for the Cougs to invest in NIL, but it cannot, nor should it be, a bottomless pit. You got to invest wisely for impact players who want to win and not just get paid. Rex, if there's an announcement Friday, it would surprise me, because that would surprise me if it was Coach Fritz to be announced Friday. But whatever it is, yes, based on everybody else's schedules, there should be another emergency show for Let's Rage Cougs to announce the Cougars' new football coach. So also watch that here on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. TSU quarterback entered the portal. See, all levels, guys entering the portal. It's that time of the year. It's that time of the season. It's not just holiday season. It's transfer portal season in college football. So to Thrillo, D-Skills, Rex 32, DPG, Tran, everybody for watching this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Fire TV, Twitch, Musk, and of course, Roku via the BS3 network. Thank you very much for your support. If I'm doing a show next Thursday, may have a surprise guest. So we shall see. Subscribe to the channel. Click on that bell so you can receive notifications of new shows. And always remember, the Houston Roundball Review been around since 1994. The Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective. Y'all take care. Peace.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Thursday, the end of the month, November 30th, 2023. Number 1, an American citizen was among the latest hostages released Wednesday during the extended ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. President Biden told reporters that Liat Atzili, an Israeli American, is safe in Egypt just across the border. CNN reports that over the first 5 days of the truce, Hamas has released 81 hostages, while Israel has freed 180 Palestinians from prison, mainly women and minors. Number 2. Records obtained by Politico expose the inefficacy and racial bias of New Orleans' facial recognition policing system. According to the data, the facial recognition system in New Orleans has proven largely ineffective, with the majority of searches failing to identify suspects. Even more concerning is the disproportionate use of the technology on Black individuals. Almost every instance of facial recognition from October to August was directed at a Black person, raising questions about racial bias in law enforcement practices. Number 3, it's that time of year when one starts to think about those New Year's resolutions. Weight loss is usually on that list, and with crazy crowded schedules and not enough time to sleep, who doesn't want to save time at the gym? Well, the What You Need to Know newsletter, along with our partners at Black Health Matters, come up with 5 exercises that are best for burning calories and losing weight. And you can thank us in the spring. Number 4. In July of 2022, 56-year-old Anthony Mangiapane, a white man, was at his storefront in Warren, Michigan, when a 37-year-old black man walked on the sidewalk near his business. At the time, Mangiapane grabbed his rifle, went to the doorway, yelled N-word, although he didn't say N-word, "You better get moving," and fired 3 shots at the black man. After a 3-day trial last week, Mangiapane was convicted on multiple charges, including assault with a deadly weapon, felony firearm, and ethnic intimidation. He will appear in court in January and faces up to 8 years in prison. Number 5. From November 22nd to December 21st, the sun moves through the sign of Sagittarius and gives us the last bit of fiery energy before we head into winter. Sagittarius is the sign of a lot. Hence the reason most eating, drinking, and spending takes place this time of year. Based on some of the events that transpired or things being revealed during Scorpio season, many of us will feel a great sense of relief and upward motion right now, and that's a good thing. But pace yourself. You don't want to burn out before Capricorn season gets here. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Be optimistic. Surround yourself with optimistic people to fuel your dreams. All right. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our mental health and wellness contributor, Aprilette Russell, and Ms. Alot herself, Ms. Astrology, as we discuss today's top headlines and Sagittarius season. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. Barbara Scotia College and HBCU in Concord, North Carolina needs our help. The What You Need to Know team is asking supporters, alumni, and friends of Barbara Scotia to help them meet their immediate and pressing needs by donating to help Barbara Scotia rise. Please join thousands of donors from around the world who are stepping up to save one of the nation's oldest HBCUs. Please visit SybylWilkes.com for more information. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.